Hey guys, I'm in my room and I'm just here to answer a quick question for you all. It is going to be UH related, so if you're not interested in the University of Houston, if you have no idea what the heck UH is, then I'm sorry, but you're more than welcome to stick along. So I did have somebody who left a comment wanting to know the difference between Cub Camp and orientation. So let's just get all of that cleared out in this video today. The first thing I should mention is that Cub Camp is not mandatory. There's a little fuzzy. Did you see that little fuzzy fly? Whereas orientation is required. It is the final step of your entire application process right before becoming an official Coug. But let's go ahead and talk about Cub Camp. Why is it a thing? Why does it exist? It is a camp, obviously, for first-year students. That means that you are coming to the University of Houston for the very first time. Now that can either include transfer students and it can also include freshman students. I did attend Cub Camp as a camper in 2017. Now I did get involved with Cub Camp as a counselor the following year in 2018. Camp is created and made and facilitated all by students. Now overlooking the Cub Camp office, there are two professional staff members who are like legit staff members. But when it comes down to making the material, making the breakout sessions, everything like that, all of the materials that are created, all of the time slots, the schedules, everything, that is fully done by the co-chairs, by the executive team, and the counselors. Now let's talk about where Cub Camp actually takes place. It is a retreat, so it's not located on campus. You do have to pay a fee that's required. However, if you really want to attend Cub Camp and if you're just like die hard Cub Camp, then go ahead and contact their office. I know that they do help out students on a case-by-case basis. So go ahead and contact them and see what they can do. However, I make no guarantees, so don't go ahead and call them and tell them that I said that, whatever, okay? It is a 3-day retreat. It is, I don't remember how long the drive was. It was either like an hour and 45, it was either almost like 2 hours or almost like 3 hours. I don't remember, and I've made the trip several times, so I don't know. It is located in a really nice like retreat area where there's tons of trees. There's a lot of cabins, there's water, lake water, there's some trails that you can walk on, there's a lot of hills, and there's this one hill that if you go to Cub Camp, you're probably gonna have to go up and down that hill over 15 times. So brace yourself. Brace yourself. If you are on a wheelchair or if you are on crutches at the time, or if you just can't go up that hill that's actually really like dangerously steep, and crew will come by and pick you up in a golf cart and they can go ahead and accommodate you, so that's not an issue. That's not an excuse to not go to Cub Camp. Now let's go ahead and talk about the structure of camp from the perspective of a camper. So whenever you do check in, you are going to arrive to the stadium, to the University of Houston TDECU Stadium. It's nice, it's open, it's nice and sunny. That's where you get to meet all of the counselors and all of the other campers as well. But most importantly, that's when you get to know what camp you are in. So Cub Camp is separated into separate camps. Typically there are 4 camps. It's going to be yellow, purple, blue, and green. Now there's no red camp because obviously our school colors are red and no one camp gets to have red. Okay, so you can kind of get to know all of the other campers that you're going to be with for the next 3 days. At that moment, I remember when I was checking in for Cub Camp, that's when I met my best friend. This is where a lot of people meet their best friends because that's when you do a lot of the bonding, okay? And as you can probably guess, it's surprise, Crystal. Not only were we placed in the same camp, but we were also placed in the same cabin to be like roommates together, which was totally weird. But now look at us, look at where we are. We've come so far. But let's talk about what actually goes down at Cub Camp and how that differs from orientation. At Cub Camp, it is not academic related whatsoever. They're not going to talk to you about how to enroll into your classes. They're not going to talk to you about scholarships and financial aid. But if you had those questions, you can definitely ask your counselors or your co-chairs, and they would be more than happy to talk to you because they are current students themselves. And that's the kind of whole point of it. Hey guys, so I was editing this video and I clearly told you that we were going to talk about the perspective of Cub Camp as a student, and I pretty much just totally skipped that part, so I'm just jumping in for a little bit to kind of give you more of a better idea. There's going to be a lot of breakout sessions. So like I said, you're going to have the yellow, purple, blue, and green camp, and typically they keep the colors the same every single year. You're primarily going to be staying with your specific camp, and there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to break out. Once you break out to your different camps and different buildings all throughout the retreat area, you will, I don't know, you're just going to do some fun things. Like, you're going to get to know yourself a little bit better. They do like a lot of kind of just personal reflection. And then within your own camp, so let's say you're in the purple camp, once all of the camps break up and go to their own separate buildings, let's say you're in the purple camp, that purple camp is going to have their smaller like discussion groups, and each discussion group has about 1 or 2 counselors in it, and you will be able to do a lot of personal reflection, kind of get to know a lot of the other campers on a deeper level. We do discuss a lot of things that are going to make your student life a lot easier, and during these breakout sessions and these discussion group sessions, it's going to be a very, very casual conversation. Like, it's not going to feel like an interrogation. You're probably just going to be sitting in the corner of the room. We talk about how you can make the most of your education while still having fun. We also discuss how you can experience the city of Houston, other than just only being a student at the University of Houston, how to get your parking permit, how to sign up for housing, how to do this, or how to talk to people, whatever. We're here to answer all of your questions. Well, not me, not anymore, because I'm not a counselor this year, this summer. There's going to be a lot of activities that are probably going to make you a little bit uncomfortable, which is okay, because the majority of people are going to be uncomfortable. They kind of require you to dig deep down within yourself, within your heart and your desires, and sometimes even your childhood or where you came from, experiences that you didn't like or experiences that you absolutely loved. And again, all of this is challenged by choice. So they encourage you to step out of your comfort zone, which is the biggest thing at Cub Camp, but nobody is going to force you to participate in any activity at all. That's probably one of the most things that I love, not just about camp, but also about our university, because we have so much diversity, and I'm not even like BSing you guys. We really take pride in promoting these conversations to increase awareness of one another. We promote these conversations that are generally a bit more uncomfortable or not as common to talk about, and they would probably be unacceptable or completely uncomfortable if you weren't talking about them in such a welcoming and open environment, such as the University of Houston. And whether you're a counselor or a camper, like, you're going to feel that. You're going to feel that sense of acceptance, and that level of just vulnerability. So that's probably the biggest takeaway that Cub Camp is going to provide you with. But that was the most valuable, most unexpected, but most valuable thing that I, myself included, and tons of other campers have given us feedback on that they absolutely loved. So there's also going to be a lot of other activities and games, and sometimes you actually get to compete against other different camps. There's this whole like Olympic kind of like marathon thing, where all of the camps go against each other. It's so much fun. It's so hype and literally the craziest thing ever. It probably sounds very cheesy, like, oh, campers and camp counselor and games and activities and like bonfire. I thought it was cheesy, but once I got there, you really start to appreciate all of the work that has gone into everything, especially because you start to feel more comfortable, not only with yourself, but you start to feel more comfortable knowing that you're going to have a good experience once you start going to college and attending classes. At the end of the night, they also have like a dance time where they have a bunch of snacks out and board games, and there's this area where you can just like dance and, you know, I don't know, like what people do, move and talk to one another. But yeah, the days start pretty early. The days start really, really early, and they end pretty. You're gonna be really, really tired and really exhausted, and you might not have your voice by the time you leave Cub Camp, but just keep one thing in mind. Your counselors are going to sleep after you, and they're also waking up before you. So hype your counselors up, appreciate them just a little bit. It doesn't hurt to get your counselor a little gift. It doesn't hurt, okay? So those are just some of the things that you're going to be doing. Obviously, I can't explain everything, but I kind of just want to give you guys more of a little description as to what the heck you're actually going to be doing, because that's what this video was for. So anyways, keep watching the video. I still have some more valuable information to share with you guys, and that's it. Peace out. I remember when I stepped into my first lecture class, my very first one. It was in Agnes Arnold Auditorium, and I was scared. I was like, I've never been in a classroom this big. I don't know what to do. And I tried to look around, kind of just hoping I would know somebody. And then the people that I knew were some people who were in my camp at Cub Camp. And not only were they there, but they were already together and they were sitting in the second row. So I already had a group of friends that I knew and they were sitting in the second row. So that encouraged me to go and sit in the second row and not sit way in the back, which is something that I probably would have done if I would have felt totally isolated. But really the whole point of Cub Camp is to really teach you guys all about our traditions, all about our chants, the spirit, and the values of the University of Houston. So they're going to talk about what the story of our university is, where our mascot came from. It's really heavily ingrained with bonding and friendships and competition and fun and traditions and spirit and growth, personal growth. And honestly, going in, I myself included, whenever I was a camper, and a lot of campers, their feedback as well, was that it was something that they definitely were not expecting. They were not expecting it to, one, be that fun or that entertaining, but two, they were not expecting to build those kinds of relationships and bond with students who were strangers just a couple of hours ago. As I mentioned earlier, there are different camps within Cub Camp, and each camp has a different name, and the name is designated to a namesake. Now, the namesake is the person that the camp is representing. Now, these namesakes can either be faculty or staff members of UH, and they're basically just people who have had a meaningful impact on the University of Houston, on its students, or in any kind of way. And what's really cool is that these namesakes are actually nominated by current students or faculty and staff members themselves. So they really get to be recognized for all of the work and passion and effort that they've put into the university, and then they have a whole camp that's dedicated to them. Now, in regards to orientation and Cub Camp, I can kind of see how both events kind of overlap a little bit, but you are still going to be getting two totally different experiences. In orientation, yes, you do have some fun, you do meet a lot of friends, you do learn a lot about the tradition, and orientation team themselves, they're also current students. So some of the sessions are going to be somewhat similar, like the traditions and the spirit and all of that. Orientation is a lot more academically based, and they do give you a lot of information in regards to what your next steps are going to be. So like how you're going to finance your education. And you also, one of the main things that you do during that time is you enroll into your courses. So it is really based on helping you enroll into courses and giving you all the information necessary now that you are going to start attending classes and being a legitimate college student. Cub Camp does occur the weekend before classes start, so it is a quick transition, whereas orientation, you can register for orientation all throughout the summer. Would I recommend going to Cub Camp? If you're willing to step out of your comfort zone, then yes. Then go. That way you're going to be getting so much more out of the camp for yourself. Because if you don't want to go, if you don't want to be there, then don't go. Don't put your money into it. Don't go if you're not willing to step out of your comfort zone, if you're not willing to meet new people. Because that's really what it's all about. Cub Camp, they just really want to put you with other students and get you to talk to one another so that you have that really smooth transition. Because transitioning to college without all of this help can be so crazy overwhelming. So we're just trying to help you guys. It's definitely an experience that I will remember for a really, really long time. It was a lot of fun. I recommend it 10 out of 10. Okay, maybe 9 out of 10 because it was really hot. So I hope that cleared up the air a little bit to kind of just redefine what Cub Camp really is and how it differs from orientation. If you guys have any questions or if you've been to either event and if I left something out, just drop it down in the comment section and help out one another. I will be back soon, and that's pretty much it. You guys enjoy your weekend. Peace.